I went into this mod knowing absolutely nothing about it, apart from the fact that it aims to be a Gearbox-style campaign like Op 4 and Blue Shift, with the same level of map design and gameplay. And yeah, I think this is going to turn out great. Welcome, dear viewers, to the demo of Static Interference. Static Interference starts off in a very different part of Black Mesa. We play as M. Hood, a security guard who's just clocking into work, and immediately, things are starting to fall apart.
Yet. That's odd.
Right away you can see how much small details are packed into the maps. In each rooms, there's small little brush objects and all sort of props that liven up the place. As we take our vest and helmet, the lab starts shaking, as if something big is going on at the other end of the facility. Wink wink. This level does a great job at subtly showing the effects of the resonance cascade. You know what's going to happen, but the people here are just confused. Plus it also is expansive in the sense that there's a lot of rooms to look at and roam around in. That classic world building element before the disaster strikes. It's great. Anyway, right as we enter our dorm, that is when it all goes down. The lights are out, aliens spawn in, and the massacre starts. Our first item is not a crowbar, but rather a flashlight. Immediately, the tone has shifted. Alarms are blaring, the lighting has turned moody. Oh yeah, it's cascading time. I like that it doesn't take too much time to roll you into the post-disaster sequence, but I do suggest to have the starting section be just a little bit longer, maybe by adding in a tram section or anything like that, just to show off the world and this part of the lab a little more. Running back where we came from, we find most if not all the staff dead, equipment on fire, and chaos everywhere. This is where I got into my first and I guess only roadblock in the demo. As I scoured the entire map, I couldn't really figure out where to go. I met a dead end in all the routes I took, but then passing by this cafeteria for the fourth time, I realized there was a vent here. Now, I'm not saying to put a giant Looney Tunes style sign here, but just move the props in front of the vent just a little bit to the side so it's visible. While there is not much in the demo story-wise, there's a lot of good-looking and fun maps to play through. Like here, we're in the adjacent part of the facility. The layout is different from before and now it's mostly long corridors with some small rooms to check out. Here in the lobby, we finally get our hands on a gun and that's where the fun begins. I like that the HUD has that PS2 style running and walking icon. It's a good callback to that port. I also like the combat is well balanced. For the most part, there's never too many enemies swarming you, but the ambushing headcrabs and warts do make it tense. 2 or 3 enemies at a time, it's easy to pick them off. Though while balanced, it still leaned towards the easy side of things, and I was playing on medium difficulty. But I like that when there's an encounter, it requires you to be aware of your surrounding, cause enemies can spawn left or right or even behind you. Oh, would you look at that? It's that one place from the start of Blue Shift. You know the one, that pizzeria place we see from the tram? Once again, it's a nice callback to the source material the mod is taking inspiration from. I gotta say, at its core, the mod definitely has that Gearbox style mapping, and I mean this as a compliment when I say that this reminds me of those great mods from the early 2000s like Pokey 646. The imitation of the mod's inspiration is done very well. From the pizzeria place, we head back into a different part of the lab. Here I saw this electrified fuse box and I didn't know what to do, so I tried the first solution that came to mind. Yeah, if you're ever stuck, just shoot whatever is in front of you. It works most of the time. Here we start chapter 2, heavily reminiscent of Office Complex and those old Half-Life Alpha screenshots. This was great to look at, and I also noticed this.
Warning, vital signs critical. HEV, general failure, insufficient power. HEV shutting down.
Behind the door is someone wearing an HEV suit and passing out, I guess? Interesting. I did try to break the door down, but nothing happened. Again, the expansiveness of the maps play a positive role here. There are multiple rooms and halls you can go see, and maybe even find some resources in. The mod does a great job at showing the aftermath of the cascade with all the dead bodies and chaotic placement of the props in the maps. Though I will say, as I really love the warm lighting in most of the rooms here, I do think it's a little too strong. I would suggest to dial back the yellowness of the halls at least, cause it oddly makes it feel strange or even non-professional. Like the map themselves look great, but this lighting, it isn't helping. Then there's this one part where there is a fire in the hallway and you have to turn on the fire alarm to extinguish it. Not a whole lot of mods do this sort of world interactivity, and I appreciate little stuff like this. Or here, rather than just a box, it's an actual thing to roll it over with. That's neat. Also, I stopped here to appreciate this low poly sandwich. Fascinating. I also like that the mod does a great job at keeping the environments fresh for the player. After a couple of minutes in one place, we get to see a new place with its unique lighting and color palette. Doing this too much would ruin the experience, but this mod does it in moderation, which is good. Like we're in this yellow cafeteria and office space, and then we're in the library, and after a while we're in this different kind of office space with different kind of layouts and rooms. It always keeps the experience fresh. If you're someone who's played a lot of Op4 or Blue Shift, mapping like this will immediately feel familiar. Anyway, I saw a giant lock on this gate, and a little later I saw a giant key, which I'm guessing is for the giant lock. And that leads us to the freezers, which is not a long section as we immediately go into a vent and end up in a grocery store? This is interesting. It makes sense that employees living in Black Mesa would need to get their supplies and foods from somewhere, but damn, these shelves do be looking empty. This old geezer said he can get us supplies if we can keep him safe, but I couldn't find the room where he wanted to go, so I just left him behind. Instead, I picked up the shotgun, and that caused the aliens to ambush me and spawn in, and the power went out. By the end, we opened the door to the parking lot and head out. It's a nice little nod to the HECU with the equipment, the truck, and of course, the dead soldier. But anyway, moving on, we see the daylight outside, and that is where the demo ends. I had this mod on my to-do list for a while. Someone mentioned it in my comments a while ago, and after a quick look at the screenshots, I thought it would be nice to cover it. And yeah, I was not disappointed. This is a solid start for the project. The gameplay is well thought out and the map design is oddly nostalgic while detailed. This took me around 40 minutes to finish, but you can take up to an hour if you play it slowly and explore all the areas in the maps. Definitely check this one out, link's gonna be in the description. Thanks for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one.